everything was great. We drove there and then we drove home, and I had no clue. And I think that's the confusion that I've always been left with, because I'm not gonna have closure, my kids aren't gonna have closure, because it's very confusing when you think everything's wonderful. But then then you look back and you're like, oh, maybe that was a sign. But that's also still something I'm still trying to process and understand myself.
Things are heating up, and it's not looking good for Allison Holker right now. The late Stephen Twitch boss's family is reportedly not here for what they're calling a complete cash grab. Word on the street is they've confronted Allison about using Twitch's tragic passing to line her pockets. And let me just say, the drama is real. From book deals to media appearances, folks are questioning if she's honoring his legacy or exploiting his name. Twitch's family has found themselves in the middle of a heartbreaking and heated confrontation with his widow, Allison Holker.
I love you. I got you something. Every day we walk off stage.
The beloved dancer and former Ellen Show DJ passed away in December 2022, leaving behind a legacy that touched countless lives. But now, his family is calling out Allison for what they're describing as an attempt to profit off his name and tragic passing. This drama came to a head after Allison's recent interview with People magazine and the announcement of her upcoming memoir, where she shared intimate details about Twitch's life and struggles. While some viewed the interview as a brave step in addressing mental health and grief, others, especially Twitch's family, weren't so impressed. In fact, they were furious. Here's the breakdown of all the tea and why the family feels Allison has crossed a line. First things first, let's talk about Twitch's mum, Connie Boss Alexander. According to sources close to the family, she's been vocal about her disapproval of Allison's public statements. In her own words, she's reportedly called them misleading and damaging accusations. Connie, like many of Twitch's loved ones, believes Allison's decision to air out private details about her son's struggles is more hurtful than helpful. Our family is absolutely appalled by the misleading and hurtful claims made about my son, Stephen Boss. The recent publications spreading untruths about Stephen have crossed every line of decency. As his mother, I will not let these accusations go unanswered. We will not stand by while his name and legacy are tarnished. He doesn't deserve this, and the kids don't deserve this. But, as you can see, the family's outrage goes deeper than just the interview. They feel like these statements not only misrepresent who Twitch was, but also create a narrative that's not entirely truthful. Connie and other family members are said to be appalled at how Allison has handled things since Twitch's passing, especially when it comes to painting a picture of his mental health struggles that they believe isn't accurate. Here's where things get even messier. The family and some of Twitch's close friends have accused Allison of using his story for financial gain. With the memoir on the way and multiple media appearances under her belt, critics feel she's more focused on monetizing her grief than preserving Twitch's legacy. One of Twitch's closest friends, Courtney Ann Platt, didn't hold back. She called Allison's actions classless, tacky, and opportunistic, publicly slamming her for profiting off such a personal tragedy. According to insiders, this sentiment is shared by others in Twitch's inner circle, who feel that Allison's actions come off as self-serving rather than honoring his memory. Anyone who knows me knows I go straight to the source during a conflict and handle my business, but since there's clearly no shame in being so public, I haven't said a word in 2 years, but here I go. I was there the moment you both connected. I was there the day you got engaged. I stood by your side on your wedding day. I was in your home the day he died. I was by your side because your husband was my family. It didn't matter how often we spoke, how often we saw each other. We were bonded forever. This is by far the most tacky, classless, opportunistic act I have ever seen in my entire life. We all had to sign some weird NDA to attend his funeral, not to share anything or ruin his name as if that was on anyone's mind in the first place. And here you go and write a book with all the dirty laundry smearing his name and attempting to dim the bright, loyal, loving light that was your husband, my friend. Whether any of it is true or not is actually beside the point. This is how you protect the boss name name you so quickly dropped on your social media platforms 48 hours after he passed. His legacy? This is how you protect his children from any further humiliation, hurt, and despair. This is what you want them to remember about him. You have moved on. You're living your life. You're on every carpet you can get on, every celebrity row you can sit in, every magazine you can be in, and you needed to do this? Get a journal, a therapist, a friend, but publishing a book, shamelessly sharing the pages of your husband's journal, People magazine? What a joke. Yes, he took his own life, which is a fact all of us still can't fathom, and he was clearly having mental health issues, hurting so deeply. And this is your example of empathy, of your love. This smear campaign for a buck is absolutely not what he would have ever wanted, no matter how bad he was hurting, not for second. You're a living, breathing bulldozer. Stick to your own demons. Shame on you, Allison. Shame on your money-hungry team. Let my friend rest in peace, not your PR. Another layer of this drama involves allegations that Allison made attendees at tWitch's funeral sign non-disclosure agreements. Multiple sources, including Courtney, claim that even tWitch's own mother had to sign an NDA just to attend her son's memorial service. This revelation has only added fuel to the fire, with critics arguing that it's another way Allison has tried to control the narrative surrounding tWitch's death. The family reportedly sees this as an unnecessary and insensitive move, leaving them feeling excluded and silenced during a time when they're already grieving. People online can't believe this type of stuff that Allison has been cooking up. One person said making his family sign NDAs at his funeral is crazy work, and another person said, happiest widow I've seen. No remorse put out her dead husband's trauma out to the world. No were found in his system. She changed her name on Instagram just 2 days after his death, then had people sign an NDA at the funeral. Girl. One of the most heartbreaking aspects of this beef is the allegation that Allison has restricted tWitch's family's access to his children. Sources say that his mum and siblings have struggled to spend time with his kids, with Allison reportedly controlling who gets to see them and when. For a grieving family, this has been an especially painful point of contention. They feel like they've been cut off from the very people who carry tWitch's legacy forward, his children. This has created even more tension between Allison and the Boss family, with some insiders suggesting it's one of the key reasons the family decided to confront her. Perhaps the most controversial part of Allison's recent actions involves her decision to share private details from tWitch's life, including entries from his personal journal. According to the family, this is a complete breach of privacy. They're furious that she's chosen to disclose things they believe should have remained private. Additionally, there's been backlash over Allison's comments about alleged use. Critics argue that these claims not only tarnish tWitch's legacy, but also open the door for unnecessary speculation about his life and death. The family believes these revelations serve no purpose other than to sensationalize his story and boost Allison's public profile. It's not just the family who's upset. Close friends and former collaborators of tWitch have also spoken out against Allison. His brother, Dre Rose, has been particularly vocal, taking to social media to criticize her actions. He's called out what he sees as opportunism and a lack of respect for tWitch's memory. Other friends have echoed these sentiments, sharing their disappointment in how the situation has been handled. Many feel that Allison's actions don't align with the person tWitch was and the values he stood for. In response to the backlash, Allison has defended her actions, stating that her intention is to help others who might be going through similar struggles. She's claimed that sharing her story is a way to raise awareness about mental health and to honor tWitch's legacy by sparking important conversations, but not everyone's buying it. While some see her as a grieving widow trying to make sense of a tragedy, others believe she's using this as an opportunity to stay in the spotlight. It's a tough line to walk, and unfortunately for Allison, it seems like more people are leaning toward the latter interpretation. This isn't just about family drama or media appearances. At its core, this situation raises important questions about how we handle grief, privacy, and the legacies of public figures. Should loved ones be allowed to share intimate details if it's in the name of awareness, or does it cross a line when those details become something you can sell and earn a buck? For Twitch's family, the answer is clear. They believe Allison's actions have done more harm than good, turning a personal tragedy into a public spectacle. Whether or not you agree, it's hard to ignore the emotional toll this feud has taken on everyone involved. As of now, it doesn't seem like this conflict is going to resolve itself anytime soon. The Boss family is standing firm in their criticism of Allison, and she's equally steadfast in her defense. With the memoir set to release soon, it's likely that this drama will only intensify in the coming months. What's clear is that tWitch's legacy deserves better, whether through unity or continued conflict. One can only hope that the focus shifts back to celebrating the incredible life he led and the joy he brought to so many people. Until then, the story of Twitch Boss remains tangled in controversy, leaving fans and loved ones to wonder what he would have wanted. Stay tuned, because we'll be watching to see how this all unfolds.